ブリーチ
Here we go. Chapter 175 of Bleach, End of Hypnosis, Truth Under My Strings. Previous chapter here ended with Aizen taking out Ichigo and Renji. Well then. And he had grabbed Kuchiki and said basically this. Tatsunda Kuchiki Rukia. Must stand, get up, Kuchiki Rukia. Dong. So we go right into the splash page for chapter 175. I guess Renji was, or Ichigo was really far from Renji. In any case, they're up over there. Gui. That would be him grabbing her collar. She still is in this slave collar. Zuru. And kind of like dragging, sliding along. So ka. Oh, I see. 僕のレアツに当てられて体が弛緩してしまっているのか? Okay, so by my spiritual pressure, body being struck by my spiritual pressure, doing shikan. Doing dentistry. No, shikan. Doing relaxation, becoming flaccid. That's the word that no one wants to hear. Oops. Doing shikan and then shimateru, like shimao, meaning like oops, or there's nothing we can do about it. And he's asking a question. Like that's what's going on. So he's asking like, oh, your body has become flaccid, relaxed by being struck by my spiritual pressure. Nani kini suru koto wa nai yo? Kini suru koto wa nai. So as for the event of like being something to worry about, it does not exist. So he's like, what? Well, it's nothing to worry about, you know? 自分の足で歩かせた方が僕が楽だというだけの話だから。With one's own feet, allowing to walk that direction, that manner, ease, it's just that sort of a story. So he's saying like, I'm just saying that it would just be easier. It would be raku. For me, the direction of allowing to walk with one's own feet. Gasha. Okay, so that gasha was some sort of like clang sound or like some sort of sound. And so Aizen looks over. Ichigo is moving. So at the end of the previous chapter, Kuchiki said something about they don't seem to be moving at all. But he is moving now. Ichigo? That is Kuchiki thinking that. Kawaisou ni mada ishiki ga aru no ka? So kawaisou ni is like sad or pathetic or, you know, poor dear. Still consciousness existing, like you're still conscious. Yeah. Oh. Jitsu ryoku ni sogu wanu. Seimei ryoku ga ada ni natteru ne. Daga mucha wa yoshita hou ga ii. Okay, so the true strength, Soguwanu. Soguwanu. Oh, okay. So your true strength is not matching. Yeah, okay. Seimei ryoku is like life strength or like life force strength. So your life force strength is not matching your actual strength. And adan, it's becoming ada ninate, like in the way. Yeah, it's backfiring and having a harmful result, you know. So this is like your will to live is great. It doesn't match your actual strength. In any case, however, as for like craziness, stopping direction is good. You should stop trying to do the crazy. You just should stop trying to push yourself too hard, that sort of thing. Doing mucha. Kimi no karada wa ima sebone de karojite tsunagatte joutai da. As for your body right now, the backbone, with the backbone, the spine, I guess, being in pain and connected condition. No. Okay, so sebone is just going to be spine. Karojite. Karojite. Oh, just okay. Got it. So as for your body right now, with the spine, like just barely managing to be connected condition it is. So remember the Aizen slashed him in half. And at the time he expressed surprise that Ichigo didn't fly apart into two pieces. And so he's saying your body is currently in the condition of being connected just barely by the spine. Well, that's wonderful. Ikura gambaro to tatsu koto wa oroka karada o okosu koto mo dekinai yo. However much try to hang in there or do your best. As for the event of standing, perhaps the body even like waking up or maybe like lifting the body, it's not possible. So basically, no matter what you try to do, you're not going to be able to stand or even like move the body. Karada o okosu. That's a little bit unusual. Karada. Okosu for the body. I am having trouble with the keyboard today. Oh, to raise the body. Yeah, raising the body, standing, whatever, all those things. Okay. Seishinron janai. Seishinron. It isn't the Seishinron. Seishin is spirit, intention, and ron, I thought was like theory. Argument, discourse. I don't know what that's supposed to mean here as a suffix. Yeah, because it normally means like theory, argument, whatever. Maybe it's like, it's not a theory of will. It's not the theory of will. Meaning like, you can't just will yourself up. Kouzou teki ni fukano nanda. It is fundamentally impossible. Kouzou. Actually, kouzou has to do with, structure. Structurally, it's impossible. Chin. That's him putting back his sword. Ii janai ka. That's good, isn't it? Kimi tachi wa mo joubun yaku ni tatta. As for you guys, already sufficient were useful. You were already sufficiently useful. もう十分役に立った。そこでおとなしく横になっていたまえ。In that place, calmly, docilely, those things, vertically become, and then like an order. So like stay vertical over there and be docile. Kimi tachi no yakume wa owari da. As for your guys' role, your play, kind of like, again, like role in a play, but as for your role, your mission, your duty, it's over. It's finished. Yakume, role, dato, you say. So da, that's right. Kimi tachi ga shinyu shite kuru koto wa wakatte ita. You guys, as for the event of coming and penetrating, understood. So he's saying this is them when they entered the Soul Society. So basically, and we're getting a flashback of that, right? So again, he's saying, as for the event of you guys invading, I knew it. Sono basho moda, and that place even, also that place, that location. Nishiru kongai ni arawareru to. Okay, this is either I knew that would be appearing in the Western Rukongai. So Rukongai is the area around the Seirei-te. So, or this to means it was said, someone said, or something like that. It's not clear here. Which is why maybe there's a little bit of a pause. Arawareru to. Dakara, and that's why. Sono kinben ni wa tsune ni kanshi o oki. And that's why in that vicinity, constantly observation placed. That's why I had placed observation there in that place constantly. Kinpen or kinben. I guess it's kinpen. Yeah, in that neighborhood, constantly observation placed on purpose. Okay. Kimi tachi no touchaku kara sugu ni seirei heki o otoshita. From your guys' arrival, or after your guys' arrival, immediately dropped the seirei wall. Oh, that's right. Gin is also the one that showed up there first too, right? Dun, dun. そして門の内側には3番隊と9番隊を向かわせ. And then, as for towards the inside of the gate, like making face or making go the third company and the 9th company. Yeah, as for towards the inside of the gate, making go the 3rd and 9th companies. Gin ni chakusetsu kimi o oi harawaseta. And by gin, directly, you chasing away. Or wiping away. Oi harao. To drive away, yeah. Chokosetsu there also means like direct contact. Okay. Seirei heki ga ori mon no uchigawa ni wa taichokaku ga うろついているとなれば、残る侵入方法は、芝空角の価格逮捕しかない。Okay, so as for on the inside of the gate, dropping the seirei wall, and like each, or that's not each, but the like captains prowling, if it's becoming that way, then as for the remaining invasion or penetration method, it was Shiba Kukaku's Kakaku big cannon, only that. Okay. This is still remembering a lot of words that we haven't seen in a while. So Shiba Kukaku was the lady with the fireworks, and the Kakaku was the flower crane or whatever it was called, big cannon. So that was the only, it was only that for the method to enter that was remaining. So Kaku, I just want to make sure here. Status. Okay, yeah. So this is captain status, meaning people prowling about. So if it was becoming that way or because it was becoming that way, all this stuff. This is the lore chapter, I guess. Hadena shinyu da. It's a flashy, a gaudy penetration or invasion. Shikamo, and what's more, その侵入者は体調格が取り逃がすほどの実力者. And as for those invaders, captain rank to the extent of 取り逃がす. Oh, like to the extent of like, I guess captain ranks losing grip of the true strength individuals. しかもその侵入者は体調格が取り逃がすほどの実力者. Yeah. So like, and what's more, as for those invaders, they were like true strength people with the extent of like that the captain ranks failed to catch them. いやが、おでも、精霊帝中の死神の目はそちらへ集中する。いやが。Oh, this is some sort of expression like yes and no. Iya means no, and o here means like yes. So this is like Iyaga. Yeah. Whether willing or not. So even whether willing or not, inside or throughout Seireite's Shinigami's meh, toward that direction doing concentration. As for the eyes of the Shinigami throughout the Seireite, whether willing or not, I guess they were concentrated in that direction. Jisai Teinai Shinyu go no kimi tachi no katsuyaku wa subarashikatta yo. In reality, the interior of the palace penetration, like after that, you, as for Katsuyaku, the activity. So, as for the activity of you guys after doing penetration inside the palace, the Seireite, it was incredible. It was wonderful, you know? Okage de 隊長が一人殺されても、大した騒ぎにならずに済んだ。Thanks to that,
Hello there.
a captain, one person even being killed, so even one captain being killed, a big deal or a big uproar without becoming finished. So yeah, he's saying, thanks to the spectacular activity that you guys did in invading into the Seirete, thanks to that, even the murder, the killing of a captain, becoming a big uproar it ended with it not becoming a big uproar. Jitsu ni, in reality, in truth, ugoki yasukatta. It was easy to move. It was easy to move. So, in other words, thanks for the distraction. Matte. Wait. Anta, you. なんで俺たちが西日本海から来るって分かってたんだ? You, why or how, we, from the Western Urukongai coming, that knowing. So how did you know we were going to arrive there? おかしなことを聞くね. You're asking a strange thing, you know. 決まってるだろ? It's decided. It's obvious. It's like, yeah, it's a little bit of an idiomatic, but it's decided. It had to be that way, right? 西路今回は浦原喜助の拠点だからだよ. As for the Western Urukongai, it's because it's the kyoten of Urahara. Urahara would be the guy that owns the shop in the real world, the guy that was training Ichigo. The base, the point, the location of Urahara Kisuke. Okay, it's the location, the base, the point for him. Kare no tsukuru senkaimon de shinryu dekiru no wa Nishiron Kongai dake da. As for being able to invade or penetrate with the gate that he made, it was only, or it's only Western Urukongai. And Senkamon, we're not going to see that in the dictionary. That was the special word for that gate that Urahara built. Nanda sono kao wa? What is it as for that face? So what's with that face? Kimitachi wa kare no buka daro? As for you guys, his subordinate, right? So like, he's like surprised. He's like, what's with that face? You're that guy's subordinate, right? Subordinates. Kimitachi wa Urahara Kisuke no meirei de Kuchikirukia no Dakkan ni kittan janai no ka? This is Aizen asking this. And let me check on Dakkan. Recovery, recapture. Okay, so he's asking, as for you guys, on the orders of Urahara Kisuke, you came to do recapture of Kuchikirukia, isn't that it? So you guys came here to rescue, to recover Kuchikirukia on orders of Urahara, right? Doyu? So what sort of a thing? Like, what do you mean? Naruhodo. Doyara nani mo kikasete wa inai you da ne? I see now. Somehow or another, nothing being asked or being told. As for that, like not existing, it seems. So basically, like, it seems you weren't told anything. isn't it? Ma, I, well, that's fine. Saigo da. It's the final. Like it's the very end. Boku ga oshiete oko. I'm the one that will do the favor of teaching or telling. So he grabs Urukia here. Gun, za. Is he going to tell in this whole chapter? Hold on. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of things to tell, apparently. Yeah. This is worse than Dragon Ball. Okay. Shinigami ni wa kihon teki na yotsu no sentou hoho ga aru no o shitteru no kai? Okay, so as for to the Shinigami, fundamentally 4 war methods existing, knowing, familiar. So he's asking Ichigo this, like, are you familiar with that to Shinigami there exist 4 methods, 4 war methods, fundamental 4 war methods. Kihon teki. Yeah. Standard, foundation, basic. Za. Okay, so he's going to describe the 4 here. Zanjutsu, Hakuda, Hoho, Kido no Yotsu ga soreda. So he lists the 4. The 4 things, it's those. And have we seen these? Zanjutsu is cutting art, so that would be the sword. Hakuda. White strike. Hakuda. It literally means white punch or white strike, I think. So we have not seen that. I'm not sure. Hoho, that's kind of like walking method. Walking method. I'm not sure that we've seen that. And we have seen Kido. Kido would be the demon way. That's kind of like some spell casting. So those are the 4 Sentou Hoho, which is different from Hoho. Daga, however, sono doremo ni genkai kyodo to iu no mono ga sonzai suru. However, sono doremo. Well, I guess this is supposed to be whatever or to whichever like limit of strength that sort of a thing existence doing. Daga sono dorimo. Maybe like whichever one it is, a limit of kyodo. A limit of strength or intensity, that sort of a thing exists. The English here just went with each of these disciplines, that would be this, I guess, requires a certain level of power. So like a limit strength exists. Anyway. Dono noryoku mo kiwamereba shinigami toshite no honpaku no kyodo no kabe ni tsuki atari, soko de seichou wa tomaru. Okay. Tsuki atari. Running in, colliding into. Okay. Like whatever the strength ability. Kiwamereba. If it's no. Oh, if it's carried to the extreme. So like no matter what the strength, even if it's carried to the extreme, for a Shinigami's soul's strength's wall running into. As for with that, Seicho, it stops, like the growth. Yeah, at that place, as for the growth, it stops. So he's talking about like running into a wall of strength of the soul for a Shinigami, if carrying that to it, the like extreme. At that place, as for the growth, it stops. The English here went with, but in attempting to master any of those methods, one eventually hits a wall determined by one's own potential. And then improvement stops. つまりは、そこが死神の限界だ. What that means is, that place is the Shinigami's genkai, limit. ならば、そこを突破して、すべての能力を限界を超えて強化する方法はないのか? If that's the case, like breaking through that place, meaning that wall, that limit, toppa, yeah, breaking through, all ability limits and exceeding doing transformation method, as for that, does it not exist? So he's asking a negative question, meaning here, like, is there no method for kyoka? Yeah, strengthening, intensifying, and exceeding the limit, all the abilities. Za. Arunda. It does exist. So does it not exist? And he answers it. It does exist, a method. Tada hitotsu dake. Just one way. Sore wa. As for that, Shinigami no horoka da. It's the Shinigami hollow transformation. Uh-oh. Horoka. Shinigami hollow transformation. The English goes with hollowification here. I'm just going to go with hollow transformation. And of course, we know who has done that. Shinigami no horoka. The hollow transformation of Shinigami. Horo no Shinigami ka. He's, well, or a hollow's Shinigami transformation. So he sort of reverses it. Like a hollow turning into a Shinigami. 相反する二つの存在の境界を取り払うことで、その存在はさらなる高みへと上り詰める。Okay. Oh boy. The boundary, the kyokai, the boundary existing of the two aihansuru, like opposing each other. Yeah. The two things, or maybe like the two boundaries that exist that run counter to each other, taking and wiping away event with that. So wiping away the boundary that exists opposing those two things. As for that existence, saranaru, even more further still toward heights, climbing and I guess going to. Nobori sume. Yeah, ascending to the top. So basically ascending to heights all the more still for wiping away blah blah blah. 理論的には彼方から存在するとされてきた手段だった。 As for to the theory or the theoretical, kana te kara. Since previously, or for some time, the existence, doing the existence, having been come to, method was, or shudan. Shudan is just method. Means, way, measure. So it was a means or way or measure that had been come to the existence of for some time. The theory of it, I guess. Okay. 僕自身は特にホロの死神化に着目し As for like me, myself, especially hollow Shinigami transformation on that, like did focusing. Chakumoku, sorry. Yeah, did attention. And I did my attention on the Shinigami transformation of hollows, especially. いつかの死神に近い存在のホロを送り出すことに成功した。Okay, so did success, like I had success in the event of sending out hollows of close existence to Shinigami at some point? Itsuka. Yeah. Sooner or later. Yeah, sooner or later. That's really what we want here. Sooner or later succeeded in doing that. 自らの冷圧を消すことのできるほど One's own spiritual pressure erasing event being possible hollows. So hollows that had the ability to wipe out their own spiritual pressure. Okay, we're getting a flashback to... I don't remember which one this was. Or maybe that's a flashback we haven't seen. I don't recall anymore. 触れるだけで残白灯を消すことができ、死神と融合する能力を持つホロ。Okay, hollows holding the ability to do Yugo with Shinigami. Fusion? Yeah. Oh, the one that killed Shiba. Lord Cayenne. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Hollows holding the ability to do fusion with Shinigami. Well. And having the ability of the event of wiping out Zanpaku To, erasing the Zanpaku To with just touching. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we still have a good 6 pages of lore, so. Okay. Rukia is now understanding what's going on here, maybe. Daga, however, どれも新たな存在と呼ぶには程遠いクズばかり。Okay. However, none a new existence as for being called. So none for being called like a new existence, like far extent. Hodotoi? Yeah, far off and away. They were just bakari, far off and away kuzu. I think kuzu here is like scum. Like, what is it? The lees, the dregs, maybe not. Yeah, well, waste, scrap, garbage. So like whatever it was, again, like just garbage, far off and away from being called like a new existence. Boku igai no mono mo minna muchi to rinri ni samatagerarete. Samata. Oh, being a hindrance. Okay, so also things or people outside of me, all of them, without knowledge and rinri. Ethics or morals, by that were being obstructed. Oh, muchi here is like lack of knowledge or ignorance. So basically, everyone outside of me was being obstructed by morals, ethics, and ignorance. 結局, in the end, その方法を見つけられるものは誰一つとしていなかった。As for people able to discover a method, or that method, in the end, not even one existed. There wasn't even a single person able to find a method to exceed the wall, do the transformation, etc. それを釣り出したのが浦原喜助だ。That thing, the one who manufactured that thing is Urahara Kyusuke. Or the one that created it, meaning the one who did it, is Urahara Kyusuke. Okay, this is him, I guess, in more of a flashback here. 彼が作り出したのは瞬時に炎と死神の境界線を取り払うことができる。Okay, so he, as for beginning to make, him, as for the thing beginning to make, in an instant? Yeah, in an instant, Hollows and Shinigami's boundary line wiping away event was possible. I guess, like, so he, as for the thing he made, it was possible to wipe away the boundary line between the Shinigami and the Hollows in an instant. Soul Society no 常識を超えて物質だった. It was exceeding, going past the Soul Society's 常識, common sense, the Soul Society's common sense exceeding bushitsu, like thing? Goods. A substance. Okay. Yeah. It was a material or substance that exceeded the common sense, good sense of the Soul Society. Bushitsu no na wa Hogyoku. As for the name of the substance, it is Hogyoku. And Hogyoku here means like crumbling jewel. That means like crumble, fall apart. And then again, jewel or a treasure. So we'll go with like crumbling jewel. And I guess that's it. 危険な物質だ. It's a dangerous substance. 彼もそう感じたんだろう. He also that way thought, it seems. 宝玉の破壊を試みた. And I guess like tried, experimented with destroying the whole gyoku. 心見る is just going to be to try to test out. He tried destroying the whole gyoku. だが彼は結局, however, as for him, in the end, 自らが作ったそのwhole gyokuを破壊する術を見つけることができなかった. One's own made that whole gyoku. As for a skill or technique for destroying it, discovering event wasn't possible. So, however, in the end, it wasn't possible to discover a technique for doing destruction of that whole gyoku, that crumbling jewel that he had created himself. I think we don't typically see sube. And it usually means a bunch of other things. But it does mean a way or a method. そこで彼は仕方なく一つの方法を取った. With that, or in that point, or at that place, so at that point, as for him, with no choice, one method he chose one method, or took one method. それは, as for that thing, 宝玉そのものに防壁をかけて, the whole gyoku itself, I guess like doing boheki, a defensive wall? Yeah. Placing a protective wall around the whole gyoku itself. 他の魂魄の奥底に埋め込んで隠すという方法だ. And then, like into the deep recesses of the soul of another, burying and hiding, that's sort of a method. It is. So like it was the method of burying and hiding in the deep recesses of the soul of another. もうわかるだろ? Already understanding, right? So you understand now, right? その時、彼が隠し場所として選んだのが君だ。口切るきゃ. At that time, he, hiding place, as a hiding place choosing, you, it is kuchikirukia. So at that time, the place that he chose to hide was you, kuchikirukia. なんだって? What are you saying? 僕がそのことを突き止めたとき、君はすでに現世で行方不明になった後だった. So me, that event, the time of comprehending or coming to know, 突き止めて, to determine, to pin down. So basically, at the time that I pinned down that event, meaning by the point that I figured all that out, as for him, already too late in the real world, this is the term for where Ichigo and everyone lives, the Gense. As for him, already too late in the real world, as a whereabouts unknown became, it was after that. So by the time I figured it out, he had already become whereabouts unknown in the real world. 僕は召喚した. As for me, I did chokan. I chokanned all night. Chokan. I had an insight, a hunch. Urahara Kyusuke no shiwaza dato. That it was the handiwork of Urahara Kyusuke. Shiwaza is just like worked skill, or yeah, the action, the deed of. So like I had a intuition, a hunch that it was the work of Urahara Kyusuke. Oh my god. Gigai wa subete chikara o ushinatta shinigami o kaifuku saseru tame konodo no reishitae de kousei sareteiru. Okay. As for Gigai, now remember, Gigai is the term for that like temporary body. The temporary body to inhabit, which is what Urukia is currently in. And she got it from Urahara. So as for the Gigai, all of them, Shinigami that have lost power for the purposes of doing restoration of Shinigami that have lost power, a high concentration of Reishi body in that construction being done. Kousei. Kousei is just going to be like being constructed or being organized or configured, composed of. Yeah. Being composed of Reishi Tai. So Reishi, again, is that it's like a term for the spiritual children, the spiritual energy stuff. But a high concentration of that for the purposes of doing restoration of the Shinigami's lost power. そのためすべての議会の行動はソウルソサイティから補足できる。For that purpose, all of the Gigai's operations or movements from the Soul Society, hosoku is possible. Capture seizing. Okay. Like it's possible to capture or seize the movements of all the movements of the Gigai from the Soul Society. Gigai ni haita shinigami ga yukoe fumei ni naru nado arianai hanashi da. It's an impossible story. It's or like an impossible thing for a Shinigami to become whereabouts unknown that has entered a Gigai. So a Shinigami that has entered a Gigai, as for becoming like whereabouts unknown, it's an impossible story. We're getting there. Daga kare wa katsute. However, as for him, katsute. Formerly, Reishi o fukumanai Reishi tai o mizukara kaihatsu shi, それを使って法則不可能な議会を作ったことで、ソウルソサエティを追放されている。Okay, so, however, as for him, this might be never before. So katsute can also mean never yet. Like never before a reishi body, like not containing a reishi, oneself kaihatsu, doing like, or creating kaihatsu. Yeah, development. So he did development or exploitation himself of like a reishi body that contained no reishi. Yeah. Including no reishi. And making that thing, because capture seizing wasn't possible, Gigai, with the event of having made a Gigai that was impossible to capture, making that thing. I guess maybe that's separate from that. Well, anyway, Soul Society, banishment was done. Suiho here is to banish. Yeah, banishment was done. Suiho ni itatta ryu wa mou hitotsu aru. As for a reason of having done banishment, one more exists. So there was another reason he was banished. Sono gigai ga haita shinigami no reiryoku o bunkai shizukeru kara da. It's because bunkai. Bunkai means to like be dismantled, right? Taken apart. Yeah, disassembly. Continue to disassemble. So there was one more reason he was banished. That Gigai, the spiritual pressure of the entered Shinigami would continue to dismantle, disaggregate. Sono tame naka ni haita Shinigami wa. And for that reason, or for that purpose, as for the Shinigami that entered inside, reiryoku ga itsumade mo kaifuku sezu. Spiritual pressure never without recovering. Okay, so basically, I guess with the dissipation, continuing to dismantle the strength, he's basically saying without recovering ever the spiritual energy. Okay. Gigai to no reiraku wa shibuku nari. As for communications with the Gigai, it becomes dull, slow. Soshite, and then yagate, sono konpaku wa reiryoku o kanzen ni ushinai. I guess like finally, yagate. Yeah, before long, or finally in the end. As for that soul, the spiritual pressure perfectly loses completely spiritual pressure or spiritual energy. Okay. Shinigami kara, because Shinigami, or from Shinigami, tada no ningen no konpaku e to nari sagaru. And like becoming towards a regular human soul, like just a normal human soul. Nari sagaru, degrading, to lower and becoming lower. So degrading to a normal human soul. Wakaru kai, understand? So you get it now? Kare wa kimi ni chikara o kashita wake janai. As for him, to you, lending power reason was not. So the reason wasn't that he was lending power to you. Kimi o ningen suru koto de, with the event of making you a human, ho gyoku no shozai o kanzen ni kuramaseyo to shite tanda. Was doing, like trying to hide perfectly the location of the whole gyoku. Kuramaseyo. No, kura. Yeah, trying to conceal, etc. Trying to conceal perfectly, completely the location existence of the Hogyoku.
Oh, ha, 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 ha.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a flashback. This is Urahara talking. Like, oh my. Okomari mitai desu ne? Like, you seem to be in a tough spot. Gigai demo okashi shimashou ka? A gigai or something, shall we lend? Daga, however, 幸い数ヶ月後に君は現世で発見された. However, fortunately or happily, several months later, as for you in the real world, in the living world, discovery was done. 僕はすぐに46室を and as for me, immediately, the 46th room, zoom. Okay, so something about me to immediately the room of the 46 or the 46th room, but this is something happening like a shadow. Oh. Hey! Boom. Story time's over. Aizen! That would be this guy. Go on. Zoom. All right. Story time's over. Okay, I guess that's now the wolf coming in. Notice, like, Aizen, I guess, is like being depicted as a wall or something here. And things just keep crashing into it and breaking, I guess. We'll see if the fox or whatever he is has any better luck. All right, that finally. Whew, well, we haven't had an hour chapter of Bleach in forever, and I can say that I haven't missed them. But that is the end of chapter 175. Next time, 176.